Welcome to Death by Zombies. I'm your host, USMCsky, today playing a little What Remains of Edith Finch. And today with me, I have a very special guest host. She goes by the name of Desiree, and she's my lovely wife, and she'll be joining me on the commentary for the game today. How you doing, Desi?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm Peachy King. Things couldn't be better.
Seriously, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
You really okay?
You're making me nervous. Why should I not be good?
Well,
Anyway, let's get started with this thing.
Well, I mean, this game you've been playing, I've been watching you play it, and it just seems like you're just getting a little emotional.
I don't do emotional. I don't. It's been great. It's been great.
Yeah, okay.
I've actually had the pleasure of meeting and talking with the voice actor that plays Edith Finch.
That's true, you have. I've seen the poster on Twitter.
I know. It just kind of made my day. Thank you. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay. So
where we left off was baby Gregory dying, and we're moving over to the next bed. Dawn's in the middle. That's my mother. Or as Edith, that's my mother.
Oh, okay.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a nice day to fly a kite.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Yeah, I thought the special effects were really, really cool the way they got the text.
We don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Well, too late for that now. Well, let's just crash into the wedding party.
Yeah.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
And there's the totem, guys, over there on the left. That's what's down on the beach earlier in the game.
Oh, yeah.
We were trying to figure out what it was.
And panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
I thought this was incredible.
Oh, wow. There's a
The rain
Japanese
came down
video
in
game that
buckets
looks
then,
kind
but
of
no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Nothing crude about it. Looked like a very nice tent. Cost you at least $2.99 down at the Walmart. Wow, there's still chairs.
The thunder sounded much
This
too
is not
close
gonna end
and
well.
full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Ooh.
rebellious young
Ow.
teen.
Yeah, he was. Do you remember how he died? The
I
father?
wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day.
Is this Sam?
Out there on the beach
It's
alone.
Sam.
Just you, the wind, the
Deer
sea and
knocked
foam.
off the...
Yeah, sad.
But I didn't. Until we found you.
Yeah, that was sad. This one doesn't affect me as much as the baby Gregory did, or any of the others, really.
Yeah. Oh, baby Gregory was...
She never told us
Yeah.
really sad. Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
It's her brother.
Yeah.
Don's brother.
Right.
Okay, so let's figure out where we're supposed to go next. We cut out a whole bunch of the kite flying because I could
My
not
mom
figure
moved
out
up
what
to
to
the
do
loft after her brothers died.
to move the story. Could you imagine living up in a loft like that? That
At
would
the
be
time,
so cool.
it was as far away as she could get.
It looked pretty careless, the way it was built.
Yeah, well, doing this with a broken arm. She's doing it 22 weeks pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
And by the way, guys, I nailed that. No, not Edith, but the fact
Yeah.
that she's pregnant.
Right.
Yeah, sorry. Had to take a screenshot.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
So there's just lots and lots of sticky notes, and you could tell that the mother was quite brilliant, but still not part of the Finch. She was a Finch, actually.
Yeah, she was a Finch.
They're all brilliant.
My
They're all
mom moved to
writers.
India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was
Basically,
born a year
they're-
later.
Oh, sorry. They're all brilliant creators. That's the way I'd look at it. They're all creators.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
So she packed up her 3 kids and took them to the death house.
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back
Was
and to
Lewis
see
the
kids in the
youngest?
house again.
The oldest. Lewis was the oldest.
So they
He was
moved-
born right after they got back.
Oh, I thought he was born in India.
Or he was okay, but he was the oldest.
Okay.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Yeah, still clearing out the old rooms.
And for a while,
Build a new
things were good. Almost normal.
Our family. In fact, they're fiction.
But it didn't last.
The deaths were very real, people. The stories behind them were quite false. I still think it was the Edie narrative. Believe in something?
I think it goes further back than Edie.
Well, it did, because Odin came from overseas. Was Finn.
Yeah. Oh wow, speaking of.
Once again, we cut out a large chunk. We spent way too much time looking around this place. The classification. I remember back in the day in college when I used to know that. I couldn't even begin now.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Cool.
Looks more like a spaceship, but what do I know?
Yeah. Hey. There's
Hey, they let no
No
death
death
date.
date.
Disappeared. The only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
I'm so glad you came along for this journey, honey. I won't be depressed alone now.
He painted in black and yellow. He didn't believe in any other color.
Should have been painting in red.
All blacks and whites and then yellow footprints.
Yeah. So he just disappeared. I love this music. What? You don't like the music?
No, it's lovely. Probably copyrighted.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, I got my first 2 copyright hits thanks to this game.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, all right.
Awesome.
But it's so lovely, I'm not taking it out.
Okay, look, he's got a palette of they're covered in all different colors, but I don't see anything but black and white.
Okay, let's not fixate on the paint colors.
What? I mean, how
Well, yellow's a sign for smarts. It's conducive to thinking. It's a true story.
yeah, but
That's why so many institutions are pale yellows. And gray, light grays for calm. Ah, it's a
Milton
It's a-
Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
what is it?
oh, turn the pages. There we go. It's a flip book.
Cool.
Oh, that's the guy up on the wall outside. He just... That's a flip book inside a flip book.
There's the door. Oh, there's where the yellow came from. The doorknob.
And he bows out and he's done. Milton's gone forever.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Aw. He's got a crown. That's really cool.
It's very Narnia.
Yeah, it is, actually. Very Narnia. That's a good simile? No. Metaphor? No. What's
Mom
I'm looking
spent
for?
months searching for
Comparison.
my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Saying Milton disappeared through the door. There's the door.
There's the door.
Went through the door into Narnia.
Painted the door, went through.
Or the Lion, the Witch, and
Whatever
the Wardrobe.
Milton had found
Or
in
is
the
it Narnia?
house. Mom
It's
didn't want it
Narnia.
getting out.
Narnia. In the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh, that's right. You would know. My wife's a librarian. She knows everything.
No.
That was a cool shot of the house. We cut out some more because we just spent way too much time doing screenshots. Tons.
Yeah, look at how.
Mom
Rickety.
definitely blamed
Yes.
Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated,
Louis.
he just spent more and more time in his room.
Well, he was
Until
the
Mom got him a
oldest.
job at the cannery.
Very interesting. The door's sealed up. But she knows exactly how to get into the place, I bet. Oh, there's the belly.
See, there's another light on.
Oh, there's several lights on.
Well, I thought the electricity was shut off. Who's keeping the electricity going?
Nobody lives in the walls. My wife has got the theory that somebody's living in the
Louis's
walls
room
of this
smelled
house.
Very,
I see that.
very
San Juan
familiar.
I also
That
see the
part of it
marijuana
went
plant on
down.
the wall and the hookah pan. She just said it smells very familiar in here. Is she talking about the fish or is she talking about the marijuana? He obviously lived in a fantasy world.
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
He died a lot. Oh, no foreshadowing at all there. Of course, he only died once in real life.
Dear Mrs. Finch,
Great to
as
see you.
Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Well, he was raised in a fantastical house where great-granny told him all
He
kinds of
kept
tales.
working at the cannery.
Sorry. Try again.
But he withdrew part of himself. In our
This is a
sessions, I
game
saw
in a
the same
game,
behavior.
guys.
His mind began to...
Now we have a game inside a game inside a
wander.
game. The fish is being controlled by the mouse. The dude in black is being controlled by the keyboard.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small,
So we're learning about his two lives right
imagining a
now.
labyrinth.
That looks difficult
He'd
to
feel
do.
his way about.
It takes some coordination.
Then
Talking
something
about
moved.
me.
Yes.
Yeah. Took-
Bats
That's
and
cool.
toads. And things that
blown away.
have not names.
Yeah. I'm just blown away by the text usage and the way they do the subtitles.
He knew it was all in his head.
Okay, kind of stuck here. Oh, cutting off another head, you get a access point. Okay, you can go now. Thank you.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
I predict that this narration on the left completely becomes his whole life.
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss,
I keep waiting
but
to
he
stick my
said
hand
Lewis had
inside
become
that
a
thing.
model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even
right.
encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first.
I
He
don't think
told
that
me
this
he'd made a
is...
new friend.
Actually, yeah. This one will be classified as mistakes.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
There we go. Cut a fish head off, get a bridge.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick.
Oop, copyright infringement.
Then he made
We have a
musicians.
You notice how it's slowly, gradually getting bigger over here on the left?
And songs for them to play.
I've been really concentrating on the lower
He talked
right
about
hand
starting a
of your screen.
band.
Make sure you don't cut any fingers.
I keep waiting.
And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Psychosis was taken.
Could you imagine the mundane life of chopping heads off
He
when
no
Granny
longer
brought
spoke
you
at the cannery.
fantastic
But
wealth
his chopping
and
was as
stories of
reliable as
grandeur
ever.
and-
Then one day it struck him
Plus his brother Milton.
that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do
Okay.
whatever he wished.
Well, so he's still in touch with reality. Yes, his imagination.
But
He
he
held
also
an
thought he could do
election
anything
for
he
mayor.
wished.
And he won.
Hey, we have Mario.
They begged
Nice
him to
touch.
stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Yeah, here you are.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
So you're going... You're doing all that with a keyboard?
Yeah.
St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
Yeah. Still doing the exact same stuff, just using the keyboard and the mouse. Just having to
Minneapolis.
learn.
Yay.
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Yeah.
Even
Sorry,
as
I've
his
been
mother
watching your
pleaded
fingers
with
on
him,
the right. Too
part of
much.
Lewis kept sailing on.
Go away, Mom, I'm at work. Just worked all day and all night.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
Oh, decision time. I'm going with the queen.
A handsome queen?
A handsome queen or a beautiful prince.
handsome
I mean,
queen.
Well, she sounds hideous.
It's because it's a guy. Wow. Look.
The
all
queen was on
plateaus
her
are
own
pages.
quest
That's
for
cool.
Radiant rainbows.
Or sinister serpents.
No, we can't get over there anyway at this point. But I am going to do a screenshot real fast.
Of course you are.
radiant rainbows.
Oh, yay! What if you get an achievement if you get all of the rainbows? Feel the rainbow. Nope, 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 nope. Ah!
He followed the
We'll
sound
never
of
know
her.
now.
Oh, you still have all your fingers over there, so
Doing good, huh?
doing good.
So the sitar or the harp? The harp.
Oh,
Yeah. Too late.
darn it. I was really rooting for the sitar.
Silver harp.
Okay, maybe if we hit all the notes, we can get an achievement. Come on. Well, you play this game yourself and you can go for the
His
sitar.
chase led him to a
Okay.
golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
It's a beautiful game. Every story's been completely
Even
different.
then, his logic remained sound. He knew the
Serial
world was
killers
all
have
in his
sound logic too,
imagination.
except for the part where they kill people. Sorry. Hey, look! We've got waving people.
Yay.
They're happy to see us.
But he was so
Says-
proud of having created it.
We gotta cut off another fish head to get access. Yep.
But it says he still knows it's all in his
Right.
imagination.
Even though
In
we've
his
no
own
longer got
eyes,
any
he'd become something
guillotine to work with
greater
over
than a
here.
king.
Yeah, how are you doing that?
Just being very careful. Actually, it's got auto boundaries. It won't let you put your hand into it.
You mean I've been watching this
For
this whole
someone
time?
who'd
and it
never
won't
known
let you put
success
your
in the
hand
real
Nuh-uh.
world, I think it was
told
overwhelming.
me.
Screenshot. Well, I didn't know you were seriously watching me to make sure I didn't cut off my
in?
fingers.
Told you I was.
It would have messed up the game if I had cut off my fingers.
Yeah, it would have been horrible.
Okay. Just a couple more screenshots.
And then it struck
It's a
him
pretty game.
that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Whoever's reading the part of the psychiatrist is doing a brilliant job.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
No, not really.
Well,
I could
that's
argue with him.
a huge disappointment right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
He began
Where's
to
this story
forget the
going? Hey,
world we
marijuana
know.
leaf. The hookah pipe. Looks like a reoccurring theme going on here. He's bad at video games, and he likes surreal stuff.
India left a big influence on him, apparently.
Is that what
I
you
think
got
it
out of
pained him
that?
to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Man, he's got a lot of head going there.
Really?
He does. Look at all the fish heads. Where'd you go with that?
He began
Talking
to
to the mic,
despise the
honey.
man
Put
with a
your mouth
royal
up on it.
contempt.
The mic.
Don't. Just don't.
You gotta put your mouth closer, honey.
Honey, you're not touching fish at all, man. Are you still doing that?
No,
Okay.
I'm controlling the guy walking.
So I say you're doing a lousy job of sorting fish
Yeah.
now.
I
No,
still
I guess
thought
so.
I could save him.
Well,
Even after
did you
he
not?
said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
cool. Got to be king.
The
Something tells
palace
me
would
this
be
isn't
packed with his companions.
gonna be happy. Nothing else has been happy. This can't be happy. We've already seen his death date. We know he dies.
Well, yeah. It's been kind of a reoccurring theme, right?
Yeah.
You know how happy everybody
I know, it's awesome. All the faceless people.
is. I see a kitty cat.
Including the wise
Yeah.
calico
Bet its
who
name is
insisted on
Molly.
inviting him.
That's Molly. Okay, then they get a cat later. Name it Molly. Or is that the same one? That was the name of the first story. The first girl that died, poisoned herself. She was Molly.
And then they got a cat later and named it Molly.
I think that was that cat. No?
I bet it
No, it
was.
wasn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because... Yep. This is Edith's brother. I keep getting my generations mixed up.
I know, it's hard to keep up.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
Awesome. He's about to get married. Awesome. Happy story, guys. Finally.
There was only
At least
one
this
thing
part of
left to do.
We got fishes on the walls. Look at all the bright prettiness. This is too cool, guys. Yep, more faceless people.
Bend down his head.
You ain't got nothing to say here?
No. No.
No! I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here. Bye. Bye, Queen. I never knew you. We gotta move the story forward, honey. Gotta do it.
Gotta do what the people want.
Again, poetic justice. First Sam gets killed by a deer. Now more poetic justice. They've been cutting off a lot of fish head. Yeah.
And the rest I think you know.
Another
Mrs.
screenshot.
Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
I think I've had enough. That was enough stories. Yeah.
Wow.
We're gonna call it short tonight. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please take a
My
second
brother
and hit
was
that
really
like button.
cool. I wish you could have met him.
Wish you could have met him. Yeah. I'm gonna go be sad now.
No, don't be sad.
Okay, I won't.
He died happy.
Yeah, guys. Anyway, I hope you did. You enjoyed the What Remains of Edith Finch. We've got one more episode left after this one, and then I'm all done with this game. I'll miss the game.
Well,
Yeah, I will. It's been a great ride.
I know we do an awful lot of talking about it after we watch it.
We do. We do. We discuss every aspect of this game.
Don't agree with much.
Well, I'm just not about the fantastic. I think there's a coercive. No, that's not the right word. I think that there's a very simple reason behind each and every death that's very easily explained. Many of them through abuse, and some of them through Granny's influence. Great Granny's
See, you keep
influence.
throwing Granny in there, but
Edie's behind half of these deaths. Yep, absolutely.
she's just carrying on a tradition of 500 years worth.
Anyway, sorry guys for all the noise on the mic.
Shame on you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, if you enjoyed the episode, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of What Remains of Edith Finch, hit the subscribe button. Do you have any fine words for the peeps there, Desiree? Threw you under the bus.
I'm sorry. I can't do anything with him.
All right, bye. Lost Mike. It's out.